Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. This is the regular Wednesday night Sutta program at the Empty Cloud Monastery. I am Ayya Sobhana, and we are continuing to reflect about the Satipatthana Sutta. Tonight, I've chosen a teaching that comes out of the Satipatthana Samyutta in the Samyutta Nikaya. So this is a collection of teachings about mindfulness. We're looking at number 10 in that discourse. I will have to make this program a little bit shorter than usual because at 9 o'clock this evening, I'm supposed to be interviewed by the Clear Mountain Monastery. So I'm going to be cutting off this program at about 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. So let's see how we can do with this one. This is a very lovable sutta for us. First, it's about the Bhikkhuni Sangha and their special friendship with Venerable Ananda, the Buddha's, one of the Buddha's disciples. Venerable Ananda, robed up in the morning, taking his bowl and robe, went to the nuns' quarters, sat down on the seat spread out. Several nuns went up to Venerable Ananda, bowed, sat one side, and so to him, Bhante Ananda, several nuns meditate with their minds firmly established in the 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation. They have realized a higher distinction than they had before. That's how it is, sisters. That's how it is. The term translated here as sister is bhagini. Bhagini, is that close to a word in Sinhalese language? I don't know. This comes to mind because it has a special meaning for me. Many years ago, when I was a young trainee at the Bhavana Society in West Virginia, there was some question about how to call the nuns. If you are speaking to a nun, if a monk is speaking to a nun, and I had suggested this term bhagini, and my teacher Bhante Gunaratana replied very warmly to that suggestion, because the family kind of way of address has got so much warmth and closeness to it. So, so this is showing the affection between Ananda and the Bhikkhuni Sangha. He affirms any monk or nun who meditates with their mind firmly established in the 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation can expect to realize a higher distinction than they had before. So, bhikkhu va, bhikkhuni va. So, the monks and nuns are exactly the same in their potential to realize higher distinction through this practice. Then Ananda educated, encouraged, fired up, and inspired those nuns with a Dharma talk, after which he got up from his seat and left. He wanted for alms. On his return, he went to the Buddha, bowed down, and told him everything that had happened. And the Buddha affirms, again, it's so true, any monk or nun who meditates with their mind firmly established in the 4 kinds of mindfulness meditation can expect to receive a higher distinction than they had before. Now, the Buddha is continuing to give some instruction. What for? This is the brief summary of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. It's when a mendicant meditates by observing an aspect of the body, keen, aware, mindful, restraining covetousness and displeasure for the world. This word Vinaya, it's related to our Vinaya, our precepts of discipline, which is for the purpose of removing and getting rid of the defilements. So the Vinaya is to restrain, reduce, remove. So to remove this covetousness, greed, and displeasure regarding anything at all in this world. It doesn't mean that you have to have accomplished the removal of all of the hindrances before you start meditating. The grammar of this word Vinaya can refer to the intention or the purpose, as well as it could alternatively refer to something that has happened already in the past. So I prefer to read it, this is for the purpose of removing the hindrances, of removing covetousness and displeasure for the world. He goes on, as they meditate, observing an aspect of the body, based on the body, there arises physical tension or mental sluggishness, or the mind is externally scattered. So these are some of the challenges, some of the upakilesas. I think we were talking about that last week, some of the minor defilements that can come up within meditation. And now he's giving an instruction on how to take care of that. That mendicant should direct their mind towards an inspiring subject as a basis for meditation. What Bhikkhu Sujato translate as an inspiring subject is it's a nimitta. So nimitta can be, it's very often translated as a sign, which is somewhat can be confusing, but it has a very broad and general meaning. So when we encounter any type of contact with an object and the mind directs awareness towards that object, and there's some perception whereby we recognize what that object is, what its character is, that distinctive characteristic that lets us recognize the object, that's the nimitta. But then nimitta also has a second meaning, which is something that is setting up a cause and condition for something else to happen. So it could be that you're looking for the sign of inspiration, or it could mean that you're looking for a cause of inspiration. Probably both meanings are true. And then they will direct their attention towards that subject, that sign, or that cause. One of the most common examples that's given is reflecting on the Buddha, recalling the qualities of the Buddha, recalling the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. If you have confidence and if you feel that inspiration in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, then that can be your nimitta. If you're not so well established in this path of practice, and you still are like not that clear about your confidence in the Buddha or confidence in the Triple Gem, I think it's very meaningful to recollect when you first encountered all this Dhamma, when you were starting out, you must have had some kind of an aha moment when it became clear that there was something that you've been seeking and seeking and seeking for, or some way that you've tried this way and that way to solve the suffering in your life. And then when you hear or encounter this practice, whether it be meditation, whether it be the character of the teacher who you might have met, or whether it be the wisdom of the Dhamma teachings, something went on and he said, oh, this is that, I think this path can work. So remembering that enthusiasm that you might have felt when you realized that you found something that has that potential to take you all the way, or whatever sign it could be, directing towards loving kindness, or it could be toward reciting some verse that's inspirational. So then, as they do this, bringing up that inspiring theme of meditation, then joy springs up. And now we're into this is a cascade of wholesome qualities that are predicted to happen, especially within meditation and approaching meditation. So this joy, this pamoja, that's you know how to make the mind glad, being joyful. Then rapture springs up, that's called piety. The piety is particularly the strong, joyful interest that arises when the hindrances drop off and you become capable of staying with the meditation without any restlessness or distraction or difficulties. That the meditation itself becomes, I like joyful interest because it's got this aspect of interest that it's like the most interesting thing in the world is that mindfulness. And so you're not any longer having the distraction to worry about your problems or worry about the shopping list or think about the different aches and pains in the body and so forth, because of being interested in that theme. So then when the mind is full of rapture, the body becomes tranquil. So the mind is not focusing its attention on the instability of the body or the aches and pains in the body. So then it's possible for the tensions and so forth to relax. The body becomes tranquil. And then And there's a way in which we could say, with what we've been learning in this in our study these over these weeks, when it's referring to the body, it's not just referring to the physical body with like your muscles and nerves, but it's the person, the living person. So the body endowed with all of the six senses. So your whole personality becomes tranquilized, as one is coming up to the gate of meditation and beginning to have a taste of that joy and that peachy. And then with that tranquility comes bliss. This is a translation of sukha. So sukha means happiness. Sukha is the most broad, general, all-encompassing idea of that. We could say even wellness. In a different context, sukha means pleasure, but in this context, I think the widest possible idea of what you could say is true happiness. And then with that true happiness, the mind becomes immersed in samadhi. So then you've gained concentration, gained samadhi, gained meditation. Now, this is coming on the basis of keeping the mind on that uplifting subject and theme of meditation, contemplation, contemplating an idea of the Buddha, contemplating an image of the Buddha, contemplating loving kindness, contemplating some other subject which is uplifting, and keeping the attention focused on that subject. And so then you would remain with that subject all the way through these stages until the mind gains samadhi or is approaching samadhi. Then, because mindfulness is one of the factors that you have, you know what's happening, you know where you're at with your meditation. They will reflect, I accomplished the goal for which I directed my mind. This directing the mind is called panida. This is going to come back later. Okay, so now let me pull back. They pull back and they neither place the mind nor keep it connected. That placing the mind and keeping it connected, sometimes translated as applied thought and sustained thought, that's a characteristic of the first jhana. This could be within jhana or it could be close to jhana. And in that case, the applied thought and the sustained thought is that up to now, you've intentionally applied the mind to that theme, and you've sustained the attention on that theme. So then they come out of that theme, and then they understand, I'm neither placing the mind nor keeping it connected, mindful within myself, I'm happy. So this has all been taught in the context of the first foundation of mindfulness, contemplating the body. Then he goes on and gives the parallel teaching towards feeling, towards the states of mind, or towards the Dhamma subjects. If one is developing the foundations of mindfulness and choosing to work in particular, focusing on one or another of these aspects, and then encountering some obstacles, some restlessness that can come out of the satipatthana, go toward the uplifting team, and then return to the satipatthana. And this is all the way through the contemplation of the Dhamma. They go through exactly the same procedure. And when they pull back and neither place the mind nor keep it connected, they understand, I'm neither placing the mind nor keeping it connected. Mindful within myself, I'm happy. That is how there is directed development. Panidaya bhavana. And then now the Buddha goes on to a different style of meditation. How is there undirected development? Apanidaya bhavana. Not directing their mind externally, meaning not directing the mind towards some contemplation. The mendicant understands my mind is not directed externally. They understand before and behind. It's unconstricted, free, and undirected. They also understand I meditate observing an aspect of the body, keen, aware, mindful. I am happy. Not directing their mind externally. They understand my mind is not directed externally. They understand before and behind. It's unconstricted, free, and undirected. They also understand, similarly, in connection with feeling, with the aspect of the mind or the states of mind, and with the different aspects of the Dhamma. So this is called undirected development. This undirected development is sort of related to a different teaching about signless meditation. Signless meditation is called animitta. So it means that the mind is not picking up any or attaching to any particular signs that arise during the meditation. When this animitta style of meditation is being cultivated, The signs that trigger craving and proliferation of thoughts are exactly the thoughts which are being dropped. The mind is not interested in those signs. So those characteristics that cause disturbance or support clinging are not of interest. The mind is not paying attention to that. Undirected attention the mind is not aiming towards an external sign. So they're sort of in the same ballpark, but not exactly the same. But I believe that there is something in common, a way of relaxing. First, we relax the body. We let the tension out of the body, and then we relax different aspects of the mental processing. So the tendency to be concocting stories gets calmed down and dropped away, and the rigid clinging to a particular procedure of meditation comes to be soft and not really necessary anymore. So we don't have to say, breathing in, beginning, middle, end, breathing out, beginning, middle, end, breathing in, beginning, middle, end, breathing out, beginning, middle, end. We don't have to be using those kind of like gross fixing the mind on different markers of different parts of the meditation. But instead, the mind is just quiet and in a way which is much more subtle and direct. You just know the breath or the theme of meditation or aspect of the body is aroused. You just know it directly in a way without having to actually fabricate a marker. The image is a kind of a marker, isn't it? That's a fabrication of the mind that is part of the perception process. So that's not happening. You could say it's a question of the intention that the mind is simply resting in awareness of the aspects of body, feeling, state of mind, and truth of Dhamma, which can be contained in any moment of our meditation practice. Those are not actually four different things, but actually it's one thing that's happening that's present in every moment of meditation, that the personal body in combination with its senses is present right there. A feeling state is present right there. A state of mind is present right there in each moment. And aspects of Dhamma are manifesting right there with every single moment. So if we are in a way which is a bit more like cumbersome and sort of like reifying the meditation, we make it too heavy and too clunky to be able to experience directly how these phenomena are arising. There's another related term, which I think is in the same ballpark with this undirected meditation idea, although it's not exactly the same thing. And that is the idea of developing what they call, sometimes it's called mind in the middle. In Pali, it's tatra majatata, which literally means mind in the middle. This is one of the wholesome factors of the mind. It's in the Abhidhamma, not in the suttas. So it's a kind of even, centered balance that doesn't lean towards attraction or aversion, doesn't collapse into indifference. And this balanced and even equanimous quality lets the awareness remain open without hunting for a sign or pushing something away, something that has a deep, profound sense of composure, and that allows this undirected meditation to be able to stabilize. This meditation is so gentle, this instruction. It's different from some other suttas which kind of say in a way which is almost harsh, that one should be horrified and ashamed if the hindrances arise, and one should destroy them, cut them down, immediately cut them down and don't allow them to persist, get rid of them, push them away, cut them off. So it's not like that. But this is also not inviting a sort of a lazy meditation, which is just allowing whatever arises, whatever comes into the mind, we'll just watch it. So what's called undirected development in this case is still a development which remains within the satipatthana, that remains within the four foundations of mindfulness. And so the meditation has a definite, like a corral. So the meditation is staying within the boundaries of the four foundations of mindfulness. But that's a very wide corral. So the phenomenon arising with the body together with the senses, the feelings that arise, the states of mind, and the dhammas that are to be discovered within that. And yet, you in doing this style of meditation, one would not be feeling like too busy or too distracted or running around like somebody who's doing the housework, and they've got to do the dishes and sweep the floor and mop the floor and clean the stove and clean the refrigerator and do that. That's not, we're not like running around like that in meditation. We just stay still, and all of the phenomena that are there for our contemplation will just arise. The phenomenon comes to us. We don't have to run after them. So this is my idea, and I will look and see if there's any questions. Greetings, Manal. Ronald, Chindana, Sudha, Elaine, Bhumika. Here's a question. Due to stresses of lay life, I never get beyond the inspiring meditation object. Sometimes joy springs up. Sometimes the mind just comes calm. Can one go all the way to jhana with these? Inspiring meditation objects like Buddha and sati, and when we need to switch over to breath, etc. Once the mind becomes calm and joyful. I would recommend to obtain jhana, to seek the opportunity to take a vacation from one's regular duties and to take a meditation retreat of at least a week or a couple of weeks. Even for those who are in the monastic form, we don't have as many distractions as a layperson has. But there are everyday life distractions that come along. And so it's most likely that a person who does have a chance to take a longer meditation retreat period can have a chance to gain jhana. And then if in your day-to-day life, the guideline that I've heard is if you're able to regularly obtain 4 hours a day of formal meditation practice, and also have the ability to cultivate mindfulness throughout the day, then it would be possible to gain samādhi or to gain jhana within the meditation. But if one encounters, let's say, a quarrel, a serious quarrel, a disagreement, something like that, and or a state like that, or something that becomes emotional, or if other people are emotional and we find ourselves, getting tangled up with emotions of others, if we become like the monks of Kosambi and are getting into a dispute regarding our opinion of the Vana, then it's likely that those disputes and quarrels, or those strong emotions, or just extreme busyness will undermine the ability to get jhana. So it's not so much about the theme that one could choose. I believe that an inspiring object like the Buddha and sati could bring a person up to access concentration if they're developing that, and if they also have the satipatthanas, so that you also have mindfulness, and then with mindfulness you develop those inspiring contemplations. What does before and behind? So it's a way of seeing everything as coming to unity. So before can be the conditions that led up to the present moment. And behind is the results that are following on based on the actions that are happening now. And all of that is brought together. So it's like all of the factors are brought together. If you have a perception of that subject-object duality, that like this is me and that's everybody else, when doing the meditation that erases the perception of self, that privileges your own self and undermines the understanding that it's like your body is the same as all the other bodies. Your feelings are the same as all the other feelings. Your mental states are the same as mental states of other beings, and therefore that none of it is personal. So the inside and the outside, outside, all around, is perceived as being the same. I see the video froze. Don't know why. I guess it's okay now. This is a wonderful question. Can the 7 enlightenment factors be developed without the development of jhana? In a weak form, it's very worthwhile to consider and look out for and strive to develop the 7 factors of enlightenment. But those factors are very much describing a process that happens to the fullest extent within meditation. So I think you would not realize the full benefit, the full gain, and the full power of the factors of enlightenment without meditation. And in this day and age, jhana is very difficult for a lot of people. And it's because of the nature of our culture, our civilization, our media, the way people learn to think, and the way we have so much distraction. But it's very worthwhile to develop jhana. And a few people can attain awakening without jhana in the suttas, but those people probably had a lot of perfections because of their previous lifetime, and their perfections and their merits were so great that they had the chance to encounter the Buddha and to hear a Dhamma talk teaching directly from the Buddha, and then they seems like they became enlightened without practicing meditation. But you don't know what they were doing for all their previous lifetimes in order to be so ready to pop that as soon as they heard those words of the Dhamma, the realization came for them. If a person finds the jhana difficult, if they would severely reduce their exposure to media, and if they would increase the amount of walking that they do, and if they would make their life quite simplified. Simplified as much as possible. That's one thing that, as well as making sure that they've taken care of their ethics and virtue, and that they're not carrying anything around for which they've got a remorse and those kinds of other underlying problems. Then with those things can develop jhana, but without jhana, merely from hearing the Dhamma or reading the Dhamma from a reliable source, and by taking it to heart and developing a rational, I don't mean like in a bad sense, developing a contemplative acceptance of the Dhamma. In other words, they have thought and pondered about the Dhamma and acquired faith in the benefit of the Dhamma, associated with good people, cleared off their ethics, and practicing wise reflection in every day and every way throughout the day, during their meditation practice and throughout the day. With those qualities, it's possible to at least become a faith follower or a wisdom follower, and those kinds of persons are recognized by the Buddha as not being an outsider to his teaching. Those kind of persons are recognized as having a foothold on the training, and so definitely one should do that, and one should rejoice in that. And if you don't have jhana, you should practice satipatthana. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. How can we access the sutta translations which you share during these lives? I find following the Pali beneficial. Okay, I'm going to come back and open this screen. Now, in this Sutta Central, you have the option here for views and parallels. If you look at the parallels, it gives you the choice of Bhikkhu Sujato in English and Pali, or a different version, which is English only. So you choose the version that's got the English and Pali. Then you click the tab for views, and that gives you many choices. One of them is to view the root text with the translation. If you have this site opened as being plain, then you will not see the Pali. See, then you see it English only. And then when you do it Pali, in this case, for this format, the line by line is good. Then you see the English and the Pali together. So that's by far the easiest way to see the translations line by line. If you don't want the screen and you want a book, the Sutta Central produces these books in a printed form. And so it's possible to get a printed version of Bhikkhu Sujata's translations with Pali and English line by line. Okay, so if there's no further questions, we can bring this teaching to an end. May all of your practice be joyful, happy, tranquil, and free from any difficulties or obstacles or hindrances. And if those obstacles are there, may the obstacles be the fertilizer that lets your wisdom grow even more.